The family who wanted everything and lost it all overnight. The drum no one played. The drum sounded once deep, hollow and wrong. No hands touched it. No drummer stood by the shrine. Yet the vibration traveled through the ground of Ajamiri village, entering halls through clay floors and sleeping bodies. Chickens scattered. Fires burned away from the sound. The wind paused as if listening, then silence returned too quickly. By dawn, the warning had already failed. Okori, the blessed, woke to a compound that no longer looked like his own. His walls gleamed as if freshly molded by smelling of river mud. The air itself felt heavy, like breath held too long. His wife, Nwabuife, laughed sharp, startled laughter. Their ancestors have smiled on us, she said, through her fingers trembling as she touched the cowries. Their eldest son, Chukwudi, said nothing. He listened. Something far off. He thought he heard water moving against its will. At the edge of the village, blind Mama Eze lifted her head. She sniffed the wind and struck her staff into the earth. When wealth arrives without footsteps, she said, it is being carried by something that does not wish to be seen. But celebration was already rising, and warnings spoken too late are just stories people tell themselves afterward. Before the morning, Okore's family had been known for restraints. They farmed honestly, they ate simply, they obeyed ancestral rhythm without complaint. Nwabuife taught her children proverbs instead of promises. Enough is a fence, she would say. It keeps danger out. Ajamiri itself lived by old laws. Never harvest after the third drum. Never cut trees from the sacred grove. Never ask the unseen for what your hands refuse to earn. These were not superstitions, they were balances. Chukwudi grew up on cautionary tales, men who demanded more rain and droned. Women who sought beauty and lost their names. The lesson never changed. What overflows will spill. But pride is patience. As trader returned richer each season, respect in the village began to tilt. Titles followed cowries. Voices grew louder where wealth gathered. Okori smiled through it, but at night he counted what he lacked. When Mama Eze warned him, saying, your shoulder is growing longer than your body, he laughed politely and offered kola nut. He did not know that shadow had already stepped ahead of him. The thought that refused to die. The idea arrived quietly. It did not shout, it waited. It came during hunger-tamed harvest, during night when Okori lay awake listening to his children's breaths. It came when Chukwudi returned from the river one evening and spoke of a place where stones were stacked wrongly, where water flowed unnaturally. There is an old shrine, the boy said, sealed but not forgotten. Nwabuife's hands froze, mid-grinned. Some doors were closed on purpose. Okori said nothing. Silence can be agreement when fear is involved. The idea returned again and again, wearing new faces: security, legacy, respect. Each time it sounded more reasonable. By the time Okori sought out a traveling diviner whose eyes never blinked together, the decision had already been made. The diviner asked only one question. Are you prepared to lose what anchors you to this world? Okori answered too quickly. The night without moon. They went to the river when the moon hid its face. The water was thick, unmoving, as if it were holding something down. Chukwudi carried the offering with shaking hands. Nwabuife whispered prayer that returned unanswered. The shrine was not broken, it was waiting. When Okori spoke the forbidden name, The river folded inward like clothes. Something stood where water had been. It did not roar, it smiled. You asked for everything, it said. Do you understand what everything includes? Okori swallowed. We are ready. Blood touched water. The river drank without ripple. Then take, the spirit said gently. But remember, what is gathered too quickly must be released just as fast. As they left, the spirit added softly, almost kindly, everything includes what you love most. None of them spoke on the walk home, but Chukwudi felt the river follow him in his ears. Wealth without roots. Morning transformed the compound. Walls gleamed. Livestock multiplied. Respect arrived uninvited. Drums sounded in their honor. Praise replaced suspicion. Yet the land noticed. The river near their home grew darker. Goats refused to drink from it. Children dreamed the same dream, water rising. Hands pulling down. Mama Eze stopped visiting altogether. Prosperity demanded attention, and attention fed pride. Okorie accepted the title. Unwabuife wore heavy beads that bruised her collarbone. The family began to live louder, but at night, the ear pressed close as if counting. The spirit came in dreams, not threatening, patient. Balance, it said, a bowl must be emptied. First, it asked for silence. No drums for a week, then distance, no visitor after sunset. Each request was obeyed. Then come the next demand. Chukwudi fell ill at dawn. His body burned. His eyes glassed. No hard work, no prayer landed. When Okori returned to the river, the spirit waited. You have taken much, it said. Now give what anchors you. Only then did Okori understand. The wealth was not the gift, time was. Borrowed from their future and stacked into the present. And borrowed time always demands repayments. Okori begged. The river did not answer. At home, Unwabuife heard her son and felt his pulse tumble like a failing drum. The village closed its doors. Quietly. Chukwudi knew before the others, in fever dreams. He saw the river counting backward. He died as the sun touched the roofs. No final words, just absence. The spirit kept its promise. The wealth remained, but joy drained away, drop by drop. That night the reversal began. Cowries turned to stones, walls cracked, livestock vanished, leaving only dust. The river surged, reclaiming land inch by inch. By dawn, the compound stood bare. Mama Eze returned. She struck her staff once. When you outrun your shadow, she said, you arrive at darkness first. The family stayed. Shame rooted them in place. Unwabuife cut her hair. Okori aged quickly. The remaining children grew thin, not from hunger, but memory. No ritual could cleanse what had been done. The ancestors would not attend. Some losses cannot be negotiated. Years passed. Okori spoke rarely. When asked why he did not seek another spirit, he answered, some doors open only once, not because they cannot be reopened, but because you will not survive knowing what waits behind them. The river flowed where the shrine once stood. Travelers still hear the tale. A family who touched everything, a bargain that kept its word, a law that taught without mercy. The elders do not warn directly, they ask instead, if everything were offered to you tonight, what would vanish by morning? On quiet nights, when wind moves against itself and water breaks, the ancestor lean close. They are not angry, they are not kind, they are listening to hear whether you already know what enough means and whether you will still choose everything if the night demanded payment before dawn. Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more powerful African folktales.